What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dana White. Dana White states that Turki Al-Sheikh runs boxing right now, and this is what he says. He says Turki Al-Sheikh in Saudi Arabia's control boxing after locking Canelo into a 4-fight mega deal. With Jake Paul missing out on a potential fight, is boxing moving into a new era under Saudi influence. He says they control the sport of boxing right now, not even the same universe of levels, Dana White says. And let me counterpunch. I think there was a small resistance in the USA. And I don't mean to toot my own horn. I don't mean to brag or to boast. But I pretty much figured that that would happen. And I figured it over 6 years ago. When Anthony Joshua fought Andy Ruiz, and he received $85 million to fight in Saudi Arabia, and Andy received like 13. I knew there was definitely some stuff on the horizon. I think a change was coming at that point. I think that over all this time, is that a bee? That looks like a pissed off bee. Where did he come from? Yeah, that is a bee. Oh, snap. Wait a minute, guys. Hold on a second. Because he looks pissed. I don't know where he came from. The door is closed. Maybe the vent. Because it just totally, is that a fly? I don't know. He's a bit too quick. Wait a minute. You know what? That's not even, wait a minute. That's a ladybug. Yeah, that's a ladybug. And you know something? I seen him earlier. People don't mess with ladybugs. But anyway, I don't think he will be such a problem. But if he does, I got to handle him. But anyway, back to Turki Al-Sheikh and even Saudi Arabia. When that amount of money could be dumped on a prize fight, I seen something that was starting, that was just began to start popping off. When I seen Anthony Joshua, when he beat Andy Ruiz, I knew they'll be back. People are coming back to Saudi. And even in 2020, Tyson Fury went over there and fought like Strohmeyer or whatever, the wrestler, and received 15 million. So you get 15 M's for showing up at a wrestling event that's fake. Yeah, things were starting to happen over there where they could supply the money. Listen, let me tell you something about the Saudi Arabians. They're from a royal family that they have so much money that they don't have to reveal how much money they have, because they're a part of a royal family. So royal families don't have to tell you shit. They're not a corporation or a business or anything like that. They own other businesses, but they don't have to reveal you anything of what they have or what kind of wealth they possess. All we know is that AJ came over there and set that off, and the whole ball dropped and something went into motion, because they knew at this point. Now you got the second, okay, it started with the second highest paid athlete in boxing. Okay, a lot of people try to say it was Errol Spence and Tank Davis. That's bullshit. It's Anthony Joshua, okay? And now you have, or should I say now, Saudi Arabia has Canelo Alvarez. He is the top star. This man has already made a gang of money. He's the highest paid. He was the one that signed the highest contract in boxing history, $365 million, back in 2018. Saudi Arabia has brought everyone together. Top Rank, Matchroom, Golden Boy, Queensberry. Everybody except the Small Resistance. Who is the Small Resistance? Who are they? Well, that's Al Heyman in PBC, and in most of the people, the commentators, the fighters, they've all jumped ship because they got tired of waiting for their money. They got tired of these advances, because what was happening, if you guys don't know, PBC they did not give fight purses to the fighters right away, but in return to compensate the fighters, they would give them like daily allowances. And I guess I'm assuming they would deduct that from whatever the boxer was owed. So, for example, we have um, um, AB, right? Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, he liked the idea of getting like a certain amount. I got 10,000 or 20,000 every day or something like that. See, those were easier amounts. 20,000 a day, giving someone that amount of money when they need it or when they ask for it, because I think that's when he would ask for it. He would then, slide that fighter or those fighters some money because he knew he owed them 500,000. Okay, 700,000, 1.5, 1.3. So 1.3 compared to 20,000 is peanuts. If you looked in your account and you had 1.3 million and you looked at it again and it had 20,000, you'd probably have a damn heart attack. Something would happen to you. You know what I mean? So that's what they were doing over there. So a lot of people, kind of lightly complained about not getting paid. Wilder did it, and look where Wilder went. Wilder has been beaten his last 2 fights. But where has he been fighting? He's been fighting on DAZN. His last fight was with Eddie Hearn. He fought Zhilei Zhang and got knocked out in the 5th round. His first fight with DAZN, Saudi Arabia, Days of Reckoning, was with or against Joseph Parker. But the amount of money they received, he received money up front that he was not accustomed to getting. He didn't want to wait. He would get the money. Don't get me wrong. Al Heyman pays you, but the way he was paying people was such a delay that it was an inconvenience, and a lot of people got tired of that. So being that said, it's so smaller people saying, oh, well, Turki Al-Sheikh is this and that and the other, but the small resistance is Al Heyman, Tank Davis, Al Heyman, Tank Davis. Now Canelo Alvarez was a part of that. Now he has went over to the other side in Saudi Arabia, to Saudi Arabia. So yes, what Dana White is saying is true. And I do agree, because Jake Paul is probably the biggest guy that's a factor, but not a factor that we know. And I think he's put himself in a situation without saying, okay, because he never said, oh, you just work for Turki Al-Sheikh. No, he said you work for Ring Magazine. So who owns Ring Magazine? Turki Al-Sheikh. So there you go. So he, you read between the lines here that he is talking about Turki Al-Sheikh. But because he was talking about Turki Al-Sheikh, he's putting himself on the out. Okay, he's in the outfield. So he's across the pond. So I don't know who he could fight or, to match that, because he's already promised that the fight with Canelo, he'll get somebody bigger than Canelo. And the only person I can really think about that could match those shoes or be anywhere close would be Floyd, Money Mayweather. You know what I mean? So his brother fought him, but then, he would have to fight Floyd at one weight, and then, Floyd would probably agree to him. Floyd had already got into his shit for snatching his hat when Floyd was growing that hair out, you know what I'm saying? The extra niche, the extra-ish that he was growing. So, no shame, right? But anyway, it was definitely that's the only fight that I could really think of that would be something like a Canelo Alvarez fight now. But yeah, he was highly pissed over that. But Dana White is right. I mean, with Canelo, and then you got guys, everybody else pretty much, that is anybody else. So why would you worry about Tank Davis when you got Canelo when he's, 34? When he's 34 years old, about to be 35, right? Canelo Alvarez age. Alvarez. So he's 34. So yeah, I mean, he's still marketable. He's still the highest paid, and he will be now the highest more paid in the industry because he's went to Turki Al-Sheikh because he got the memo. And on top of that, I think it was really all because of Jake Paul was offering him more money than Turki Al-Sheikh, but Turki Al-Sheikh gave him a structured deal. So in that 4-fight deal, I'm pretty sure that Canelo Alvarez, after those 4 fights, this year, next year, I think it's a wrap. I think he will then retire from the sport of boxing, depending on if he wins or loses. But you guys tell me what you think of Dana White stating that Turki Al-Sheikh is running and controlling boxing, And Jake Paul is on a different universe than Turkey Al Sheikh. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.